thinking and mental awareness and how you work it. So I was saying last episode why they don't work, why most people will build or will say out loud their New Year's resolutions and they won't work. I want to say how you can make them work. First things first.
You want to be positive.
I was going to say, dose of positivity.
Yeah.
That's what we all need these days.
So first thing first, if you want your New Year's resolution to work or any resolution or any goal, you have to set a clear goal. And what I mean clear is you have to say exactly what you want. Not like this thing of like, I'm going to exercise. Like, that's not clear. I'm going to read, not clear. I'm going to write, not clear.
Feel singled out.
You have to be very clear. So clarity allows you to focus on what...
I was like, what was that?
Little aria. Clarity allows you to focus on what your efforts are. So, like, for instance, if you want to work out, say, okay, I want to exercise. Well, what do I want to exercise? I would like to exercise 3 days a week. Okay, 3 days a week. What's that look like? I want to exercise 3 days a week, an hour a day on those days, and 3 different focuses, back, shoulders, whatever. You have to be extremely clear. Our brains work on the focus. So when you're more clear and you give greater effort to what you're doing, you're telling your brain, this is what we're focusing on. The less clear you are, it's the more clouds that you can fall into. Second thing, you need to break the goal into steps. If you're saying something like, I am going to read a book. I want to read a book a month. You want to break down the step. You say, okay, how am I going to do that? I got to pick the book. That's one thing. I also need to set time up for that. How am I going to set that time up for? Every Wednesday night when I brush my teeth, after I brush my teeth, I am going to read the book. You need to break it into steps. You can't just say to yourself, like, I'm going to hit the gym, because there's no step to that. You're trying to force something into space where it's never been before. So if you have a big goal, divide it into small, actionable steps. Not just actionable steps, but ones that you can clearly, easily complete. If you're going to make, if you're cooking new food, don't try to fucking do a flambe if you've never done that and you don't have the tools for it.
Flambe.
I say flam.
Say theater.
Just like theater. Just like theater. Yeah. I love this wording, and it's what I'm sticking to for the new year. It's simplicity fosters progress. Second thing, the next thing.
SFP.
Start small.
It's real close to SCP.
Right?
Yeah. Start small, because starting small allows you to build a habit. You have to realize that you're building a new habit. You can't just think to yourself, because I say it, it's going to happen, because that habit's not there. You're planting a seed. You have to water it. It needs the sun. It needs to grow. So you begin with manageable steps. Consistency builds habit over time. I love this idea. If you're saying you're going to start running, I had this coworker who was like, I'm going to run 3 miles a day. I'm like, that's great, but you never ran before. So let's start with consistency. Let's have you just, for 5 minutes a day, for 2 weeks, put your shoes on, go out for a walk, and come back every single time you get home. If you're home at 5:30, you're going to leave, you're going to walk, you're going to come back. You're going to do that for 2 weeks. Your brain's now learning that when you get home at 5:30, that's your time to leave the house and do your thing. Now you've built a habit on getting out of the house without having to run. If you haven't run for a long time and you try to run every single day, your body's going to get worn out, and your body's going to be like, yo, there's no habit to be built here. I don't want this. And that follows the next thing, track your progress. Like, you have to track your progress on a regular basis. And the reason why you do that is because some things aren't going to work. And you have to look at those things that aren't going to work. And you have to be able to take those things and then build upon them, which is learning from your setbacks. So tracking if you do like a journal, you write down like, today did 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I didn't use my AK, whatever.
Building is a habit. Put it
yeah. No, but you have to track your progress, because your awareness will, over time, strengthen your habit. And also, whatever you start with is not going to be what you end with. You have to be okay with the fact that whatever you're trying, it's not going to always work. So that's why you have to adjust where is needed, right? Like, I can tell everybody this podcast takes a lot of adjusting where is needed. Like, and we still are, and we still have to.
Sure.
And whatever that you want to do, you have to adjust where is needed, which is then takes you to the next part. If you're following what you're doing and you're adjusting where you need it, celebrate your small wins. So if you're going to set something up, I could say this every single day, celebrate your small wins. Most people won't do it. You have to bring that into the part of it. If you're not, any new habit that your brain's taking on, you are pushing off the gratification. It's down the line. It's not right now. So if you don't celebrate your small wins, your brain will become fatigued on the fact that you're not getting any gratification. Celebration gives you gratification. If you
like no realization of progress.
yeah, like if you were to be like for the because this is the first week, right, of New Year's, if your thing was like I want to exercise, if you exercise for 5-10 minutes every single day, to a gym rat, that's nothing. And if you try to measure yourself up to a gym rat, you're going to feel like, wow, I didn't do anything. If you try to measure yourself up to anybody that's bigger.
There are people, too, they're gym enthused. Yes.
No rats. Gym enthused.
Yes.
Gym frequenters. But you're not where that they are. And so, you have to measure where you are. If you go 5 days in a row, that's something to be celebrated. If you showed up for 5 minutes. And then really the last thing is like, when you follow what you're doing, there's a sense of persistency that you have to have. Now, let's say, for instance, you set a goal and you're trying to stay on top of it and it's just not clicking. Then you have to ask yourself, do I really care about this thing? Do I really want this thing? Or am I trying to do this because some outside factor makes me feel like I want to do this? Am I trying to get, this is always the easy one to go to. Like, am I trying to get ripped and look huge because I want it? Or is it because I think it's going to do something for me? And if it's not because you want it, if you don't feel the persistency, if you don't feel the drive, then you have to ask yourself, okay, maybe I don't want this. And then what is it that I do want? So it's not the fact that you set up. It's not the fact that New Year's resolutions don't work. It's the fact that most people go into them without any preparation. And any reality of what it actually is and how long it takes and what it looks like to set to set a new goal or to achieve a goal, and then they fail. And then after and failing's okay, but what happens is you keep on going in the same pattern, you keep on going and attacking the things the same way, and after 5, 10, 20 times of doing the same thing, now your habit is you think that you can say, oh, I'm just going to do it.
Habit is failure.
Well, that's what it is.
Habitual failure.
Yeah, and then you just keep on like humans have this thing where we think that we have more control over our brains than what we actually have, and we
I got all the control.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. So I mean, take with what you want from that, but it's not if you really, really want to make something happen, go through what I just said, make sure you're hitting the majority of the points, and do it with patience, compassion, grace to yourself. And also be very cognizant of the image that you have in your head of what it's looking like, because it's probably not going to actually ever look like that. It's not bad to have an image. It's good to shoot for that, but you can't hold yourself to that where it's like, if it's not that, then you're failing, because that will make you stop instantly. That's going to be about $300.
That will be its own Patreon
you guys
gift
can
right there.
Cash App, there's Zelle. Yep. You have any questions?
I was going to say you should have made the acronym into SCP somehow.
I was thinking of how you can make it to that.
What does it stand for again?
Simplicity fosters progress.
Simplicity
SFP.
creates progress.
Wow.
The SCP method.
The SCP method.
Copyright.
Throw M in there.
I couldn't look
Maturation.
at myself in the mirror if I had my own. This is the SCP process.
I think that would be like,
I hate those fuckers.
You've come what you hate, Sean.
I
Welcome
know.
to the club.
I know.
You live
Become what you hate.
you live long enough to become the villain, and that's something to
Welcome-
be celebrated.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
I'm sure you've
Welcome
always
to the club.
you've always relished that role,
I have.
and in essence,
I've been waiting for all my friends to get here.
in essence,
Finally.
you're accomplishing your goal.
Slowly, like you said, baby steps.
So I believe 100% that we all and you all and you can do what you
you
shoot out for, because we were talking about this last week. I believe 100%. I'm not shooting down the fact that people have New Year's resolutions and shit, but do it in a way that sets yourself up for success. I don't want to see people fail. That's why I think I get so passionate about it, because I get really sad, because it's really easy to like say you're going to do something and then something doesn't happen, and then you use it for the rest of your life, for the rest of your days, something like that. I'd be like, well, I didn't do it that time, so of course I didn't do it this time, but next time will be different, and it's just the same story again. Like,
And you wake up dead.
Well, you don't.
what? You woke up dead?
This shit right here. This shit called dead.
Oh man,
No, you wake up deaf. You can't hear it. You
like
can't
you
hear
can't
shit.
hear shit.
Who? What? yeah.
Who ate the cocoa? What did he say? The cereal?
The Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my-
Someone did eat your Cocoa Puffs, baby.
I don't even know who did that.
Knowing damn well you done ate them.
You ate all those cocoa puffs. Well, I mean, I love this episode. This was great. That's all I got.